and welcome to tutorial sheet 1. So this is going to concentrate on the units and converting them to the correct SI units. So when I mean correct, I mean meters, newtons, kilograms, and you'll find them in the lecture notes is what we mean, because in certain terms millimeters might be ideal to use, but typically meters is something that we all understand. So in these first set of examples that I'll go through in this video, we'll just look at question 1A through to E, and I'll give a couple of other examples. But for the moment anyway, we'll just concentrate on the first couple that are relatively easy, where we're just converting from millimeters to meters, right? And this is something that will be in the exam. So we know, before we do this, it's always good to just know your units. So 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter. Now, the way you present this can be different as well. So you can say 1 by 10 to the 3, that's the same as 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter. And that's really important to know, and for all your other different units. So you need to know what giga means, what mega means, what kilo means in terms of the actual quantity of the number. So it's important to know there's two parts, the number itself and the unit, and that when we use letters like G, giga, what does it mean in terms of the actual physical number here? Because that will help you then to get to your correct SI unit, which in this case is meters. So the very first question is 500 millimeters. So part A. So you can probably quickly do it in your head, but for those of you that just want to have a quick and easy way of doing this, and as I said, there are different ways of doing this, and there's no wrong way as long as you get the right answer, so I don't mind. But this is just the way that I do it, and of course you can do it in different ways, as long as you get the correct answer. So when it comes to units, it's all about just getting the right answer rather than the journey. So what I want to show here again is just a really over-the-top analysis of the step-by-step process, but you'll probably do it quickly. So we want to get 500 millimeters into meters, right? So we want to know what it is in meters. It's the exact same thing. It won't change the physical length of it. It's just a different way of representing it, and that's important to state from the outset. So we know, remember up here, that 1 meter equals 1,000 millimeters. So if I were to do this, right, so if I were to say 1 meter, right, I'm not going to add 1 meter to this, I will just add a meter to this 500 millimeters. If I were to divide this by 1,000 millimeters, they'll cancel each other out and they'll just effectively equal 1. So it'll do nothing. You're just multiplying by 1, which doesn't change the result. But what it does is it can help you figure out the answer. So if we break this up, so if you take this 500 millimeters, so as I said, remember there's two components. There's the number part and the actual unit. And same here, we have the number part and the unit part, right? So if we match them up, so if we take this 500, and what we've done here is we have multiplied it by 1 all over 1,000. Right, so we've multiplied by 1 and divided by 1,000. So we'll do the same thing with the units. So millimeters is what we had. Sorry, so millimeters, and we're multiplying it by meters all over millimeters. All right. So you'll notice straight away. So if we go with the units, the millimeters cancel out. So now we've got it in terms of meters. So we still, because there's two parts, we have to do the same thing to both sides. So the 500 times 1, still 500, but divided by 1,000. So what you'll get here is you will get 0.5, right? And what you're left with here is meters. So this is a over-the-top way of explaining this. So the answer will be 0.5 meters. So you can get that straight away. So half of 1,000 is 500. So 0.5 or a half. 0.5 meters. Now you can do this in many different ways. So you can do it as 5 by 10 to the minus 1 meters. Still the right answer, right? This is just in a different term. It's still going to be the same length. So it doesn't physically, this length, let's pretend this is 500 millimeters, this does not change. It's just a different way of representing it. These are all the right way, or they all mean the same thing, but in terms of your standard units, SI units, this is the best way of doing it, according to the question. And this is the thing here. So always read the question first, okay guys? Always read the question first. So all we're asking for here is correct SI units. So either answer here that you would give me would be correct because it's in the correct SI unit. I haven't asked for any kind of way in terms of what the number should look like. So it's in meters, therefore it's correct. Alright, so that's part A.